What is up, everybody? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a very exciting exclusive in to check out, so let's jump into it. All right, guys, we have the Binge in. This is a Bladebinge collab with Devo knives. It is the channel knife, and I'm really excited to check this out. Nice Devo knives box here. Really like that. Very easy access. You're going to get the dark mode sticker with the dark mode version and the, of course, Bladebinge sticker. Inside the box, you're going to get the wire pocket clip that you can swap out from the titanium pocket clip with the included hardware. Love to see that. Got a nice Devo knives cleaning cloth, and I've already got the knife out because I have been checking this out ever since I got it in. Let me get this stuff cleaned out of the way and we'll jump straight into the review. All right, guys, we have a beautiful Tiffany blue camo carbon scale on here. I am not removing the tabs though, because this is on loan. This is not my personal sample. Shout out and thanks to Bladebinge for letting me check this out in advance. I really wanted to be able to share my thoughts with you guys. Beautiful centering on here. You have the Vox style jimping along with the low profile top flipper, front flipper, maybe both. All blacked out hardware and beautiful black washed S90V blade with a hollow grind. That thing is so thin and slicey. Love that Warncliffe blade shape on there. Nice access to that lock bar. It is a steel lock bar insert. I love again that we have now a second model that has the exposed liner lock. I think that is such a unique feature. Titanium backspacer with a fold over titanium pocket clip that you can again swap out for that steel wire pocket clip if you choose to carry it that way. Access again to that lock bar is really good. The action on this probably needs to be broken in a little bit more. I have flipped it quite a bit, but it does have a coated blade. I haven't taken it apart to clean or wash or tune it or anything like that, because this could potentially be someone's knife that is going to get sold. So I want to be mindful, thoughtful, and considerate of all of that. I'm not going to do any cutting with this just because it is not my knife. What I will say is I do have a lot of experience with the S90V from Kubi. They do a phenomenal job. The hollow grind on here feels very thin and slicey, and it does seem to have a nice factory edge. It feels very toothy, like it's going to be ready to go. But again, not doing any cutting with this. This is more overview style and just kind of sharing my thoughts and impressions on this one. I love that the liner is nested in there. What I forgot to check before the review. Okay, so it is just a scale on the show side. So that is going to help keep the weight down. And then your lock bar is here on the pocket clip side or non-show side. So just that steel lock bar insert nested into the liner there. And then it looks like they have inserted, if I'm looking at that correctly, I'm going to try to get that on camera. Looks like a little steel tab that they kind of pressed into the scale in order to be able to get that to lock on there. So I love to see that. Usually when you see reversible, they do some type of steel liner, but it looks like there's an insert here for that pocket clip screw. And then it looks like the hardware is actually screwing directly into the back spacer, with the exception of this screw here that is going into the steel liner. Good chamfering here. You can see the S90V logo there, but I mean, it is such good access to that lock bar. I'm able to get in and easily disengage no matter how you like to disengage the knife. It is definitely going to work in all of those ways. Man, it's just such a clean, closed up profile too. All right, let me do some size comparisons. I am curious about the weight, and that usually comes in this part of it. So let me grab a couple knives. We'll check to see where this lands. All right, I wanted to bring out a Devo Knives Tall Boy. Again, just to reference where I'm at with the S90V with the hollow grind from Kubi. I mean, they do a fantastic job, great factory edge, super slicey. So I just want you guys to know where I'm referencing the cutting performance at. And then we have the downdraft from Tempest Knives here. And you can see this is a little bit of a smaller knife. Going to be a great office carry, gent carry. It is definitely going to be able to take care of your EDC duties. Very slicey, easy to cut. I do like that about this one. Let's do a couple more size comparisons so we can weigh this knife. All right, currently the only front flipper only knife that I have happens to be pretty comparable. I mean, it is a little bit bigger, the Mini Momo here. Slightly larger, but just, and then we have the Manix 2 lightweight. So I did want to kind of just show a size comparison. You can see here, I can easily get a 4-finger grip on that Mini Momo, whereas with the Binge, it is a little bit hanging off of the back, but because they did design it, or the way this is designed where it kind of pokes out here, I'm able to get a full 4-finger grip. And then with this being on a titanium liner or on the top of the scale, it is flat. This one has a little bit of contouring, it feels like, going on with it. If you can see that on camera, little contouring. So it does feel robust in the hand, so it's very comfortable. It reminds me of a slightly larger Feist in the hand, very neutral. Very comfortable, very nice to use. So I do appreciate that. Let me clear these out and then we'll go ahead and grab the scale. All right, we got the scale out and on, and I'm going to bring these two back out to compare to the weight on this. I'm guessing this is somewhere just south of 3 ounces. Ooh, 2.1. So I am a little off today in that regard. So if that's 2.1, this has got to be the one that I was thinking of. This is north of 3, coming in at 3.2. So it is definitely lighter. Tall Boy is a pretty light knife, even though it has that titanium backspacer. As you can see, even though it is longer than the Momo, coming in at 3.2. So this is actually going to be a great summertime carry. How does it compare to the downdraft? I think the downdraft was a light one as well. Yeah, 2.8. So it's even lighter than the downdraft, but it's really quite a hand filler for the smaller size and the lightweight carry. So again, I think for summertime office carry, this is a very interesting piece. Let me get the scale out of here and we'll wrap it up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, time for final thoughts and impressions on the Binge, guys. First, I just want to say I love that Binge is continuing to be a big part of the community, working with designers and doing collabs with folks out there for models that they're offering in their exclusive version. And this one being an exclusive model, they're all different types of models, just in case the dark mode is not really up your alley. There's a all titanium version, reverse tux all titanium, and I believe there's a purple, it's not purple haze, purple dark matter. I can't remember what they're calling it. Maybe it's the purple nurple version. I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure there's one out there with that camo carbon like this, but it's in the purple, and both of them are really pretty. Me personally, I probably would go after the dark mode version. It is my favorite. I love that the logo can barely be seen. It's almost sterile looking due to the dark wash nature on here. And I really like the DK logo on the pivot anyway. I think it kind of works. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10. 1's the lowest, 10's the highest. Now, I do want to disclose again, this is a loaner. I haven't spent as much time with this one as I would have some of the other knives. Probably about as much time as I would have on like a review sample that comes through, although I can do a little bit of cutting with that one. I don't want to do that with this one because, again, this could potentially be going out to a potential customer, so I am mindful of that. Also, if it were mine, I would be swapping out the bearings, putting some skiffs on here just to make it ultra smooth. I think that would be really, really cool, and then I would go ahead, clean and lube it with the hops gun oil and everything like that. All right, so 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. I do cap budget knives at 7. to allow for things like this that have what I would consider a super steel and more premium materials on it to be able to go above that one. Now, it is a very small knife for me personally. Even though I can just get the pinky on here, I am able to, like I said, grip it because it does protrude out. So not a lot of wiggle room for me. This would be something that would be a companion carry, something I would like to carry to the office or perhaps out on a date, something that I think would be unassuming. There is one means of deployment only on here, but that one means of deployment is tuned extremely well. And the way that they did that top flipper, it is very fidgety depending on how you like to open it. I like the look. The fit and finish on here are really good, and those are all things that I take into consideration along with the price point, which I also think the materials and everything that you're being offered here with the collab are very, very competitive. So for me, I'm at an 8.1, which is a very good score on my system. You guys know I grade very tough. It's very hard to get up over an 8, even though I allow for it with stuff like this. But I just really like this one. To me, if you weren't sure if you ever wanted to try a front flipper only, this would be one of the ones that I would tell you to chase. I did mention that when I had the Mini Momo, because I feel like it's just such an easy, user-friendly front flipper. And a lot of people said that they love the knife, they just hate that unicorn front flipper. Well, here you go. The Binge is your answer. It is a very low profile top flipper. It does not stick up and it doesn't stand out. To me, it really is blended into the design quite nicely. So this would be the one that I would recommend you check out. Shout out to Bladebinge. Love to see that you guys are still continuing to work with the community. Very thankful that you let me check this one out before it was released. I'll definitely get it back in time to make sure that if anybody buys and it sells out, you will have that so that I can get out to those folks. All right, guys. If you are interested in this one, I will make sure and have it linked down for you below. Code DGG will save you 10% at checkout. If you are picking this one up, using my link does help the channel. Totally up to you if you want to do that, but if you do, thank you. Shout out to my channel members. Love you guys. I'm out of here. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Thanks for hanging out today. Peace.